Hi guys, so today I'm just going to film a rowing part 2 video slash life update. More of a life update, but I just need to give you guys some background information. So if you haven't watched my rowing part 1 video, you can feel free to go watch it. I'm gonna just try to like skim through my rowing part 2 experience, pretty much just what happened my sophomore year and over the summer and stuff. And yeah, so I'm just gonna update you guys on that, and then I'll get right into what I'm doing now kind of thing. I think I just left off summer after my freshman year. I was trying to work out even though I had already been diagnosed with 2 herniated discs, and yeah, I was just trying to like ease back into things, and I finally was like working out and running, and it took me so long to ease my way back into activity because for like 6 months pretty much I was just like bedridden, not doing anything, barely going to class. Like I got back injections and that didn't really help, and then I was just doing some physical therapy exercises that kind of like helped the muscles in my back and stuff like that, so I was feeling more comfortable working out. So yeah, I was just working out very lightly and like working my way back in, and then so by the end of the summer I was probably doing like an hour of cardio, which is like still way less than I'm used to. And then I got back to BU, and I had twisted my ankle over the summer when I was running, so I just like took some time off, and then I just like figured it was better, so I just started running again after a couple of weeks. Turns out it was like a high ankle sprain, so it never got better. So I got back to BU in the fall of my sophomore year, and I was like, okay, it like hurts to walk and stuff. So yeah, they were like, oh, it's a high ankle sprain, it never healed. So I had to take more time off of exercising and stuff, which was really frustrating because I wanted to try to row in the fall. So that was like my motivation for the whole summer. But yeah, I had to take like a while off to like get that better. I still couldn't really row because my back was kind of like getting aggravated from sitting through classes and everything. And then finally my ankle got better. I started running again, and I ruptured a tendon in my other ankle. I didn't like fully rupture it because then I would have needed surgery, you know, because it would have just been like torn apart. But I like partially ruptured it, and it was awful. I couldn't even walk, I couldn't do anything, and it took a while for them to like diagnose that because I don't know, they were telling me it was shin splints and stuff. Like I know what shin splints are, like trust me, and this isn't it. Like I couldn't even walk. I had to Uber straight to athletic training like during my run because I just couldn't even like put weight on it anymore. I was like on a boot and crutches, so I just like wasn't going to class, and that was for like a while. And then I finally got rid of the crutches and I was just with a boot. So my left ankle was the one that got the ruptured tendon, and the left side of my back is worse. So I had the boot on, so it like kind of like made my hips uneven and like crunched on my back even more on the left side because I have the disc is going out to the left on one level. That like really wasn't good, so I just stopped wearing the boot. Everything was falling apart. Like all of my plans for rowing sophomore year were like kind of like crumbling because that was like October, and the beginning of November is when like fall rowing is done. So I was like, okay, maybe I can row in the spring. So I was just really frustrated though because my goal was to row in the fall, but because of all these random injuries, like it wasn't happening. And that was like December, and then I got sick. My back was just really messed up and like really tight and stuff, so I was like coughing so much that like my ribs were shifting in my back. I thought my athletic trainer was like so fed up with me by this point, so I was just like, I'll like ride it out, like I'll go back in a couple days like if my back isn't better. And I like literally couldn't move my right arm because my ribs had shifted, so like I couldn't even pick up anything with my right arm. I couldn't like put on or off shirts, like I couldn't open doors, it hurt to breathe, like it was awful. So yeah, my ribs shifted. Yeah, so that was rough. And then winter break, I did work out. I was just like biking and stuff. And then in the spring, I did go on the training trip, which I mentioned previously. I didn't go. I was on the lightweight rowing team at Boston University. Wow, I didn't even say that because I just like figured you guys would know. I was on the lightweight rowing team at Boston University, and I also like rowed in high school and middle school. So like all of these like injuries, I guess, just like built up over time. I went on the spring break training trip, which I was like super excited about, and I was like finally allowed to like try out rowing because we didn't want to try erging because that puts more pressure on your back. So I wanted to just like try out a single. In spring break training trip, we have like 2 practices a day, and it's like pretty intense. So I would just like run for one of the practices, and the other practice I'd like row for like 10 minutes. We got there probably like Saturday. I had to give myself time because like sitting is usually the worst for me. So if I travel for a while like sitting down, then I like won't be feeling too hot the next couple of days. So I gave myself a couple days for my back to feel better. And then I tried out rowing, and it was fine. Like it was like fine. I was just like super out of shape, like didn't know how to do it. My arms were like super noodly and like not strong, but it was like fine. And then that was like probably Sunday, and I rode again Tuesday, and it was like fine again. I think I did like 20 minutes. And then Wednesday morning I went in the launch with like my coach because I wasn't gonna be running or anything because my ankles were kind of like hurting. So I just was like gonna take the morning off. I just wanted to sit with my coach and like watch practice, whatever. The launch is like just a boat that the coaches like tool around in to like watch practice and like coach. I had like a metal bench, I guess you would call it. So I was just sitting there for like 2.5, 3 hours, which was like really a bad call. Ever since that morning, for the whole rest of the week, I like was literally like dead. Like my back, like I like couldn't move. Right after, I was like, oh no, this like isn't good. I like went to the dining hall because we would go to morning practice, go to the dining hall, go back, like people would take naps, then go to afternoon practice. And I went to the dining hall and I was like, I don't feel good. It was at Clemson, and then we went back to the hotel and I was like, I like can't go back to afternoon practice, but they like couldn't leave me alone in the hotel, I guess. So I kept having to like go to practice like every other day of the week, and I was like you don't get it, I can barely walk, so like where am I gonna go? Like I was like, I'm literally gonna be laying in bed, like you can leave me here and I will not move at all probably until the end of the trip. They would just like drop me off right after practice because I was like, I'm not doing well, like I can't be sitting here, like I can't go to the dining hall, I can't sit around there, like I'm just not doing well. One of the coaches would literally drive me from practice back to the hotel when everyone else would go to the dining hall, and I just like lay in bed. So that was like super rough because I had really high hopes for spring break, and that just like kind of crashed and burned. Yeah, so ever since then things like kind of went downhill. I think it was probably like a combination of me like rowing but also sitting on a metal bench for that long. Like it wasn't a good call. I like didn't even think about it though because I just like thought I was fine. Like I thought if anything hurt me it would have been while I was rowing, not like after, you know. So that was really frustrating. And then I got like another MRI because, as I said in my rowing part 1 video, I got an MRI and that's how they diagnosed me with 2 herniated discs. And I got another MRI like pretty much a year later, and they were just like, oh well, like everything got worse. And I was like my head like exploded. I was like so mad, so sad, so frustrated, so like hopeless. I was like, I've done athletic training, I've done physical therapy, I've done everything to make this better for the past 1.5 years, and you just told me it got worse. Like, so I was feeling like hopeless. Like I was like, nothing I do will make a difference. And I just like kind of stopped working out because everything hurt again. So I was just kind of back in the state where I was just like in bed all the time, missing all my classes. And like I also stopped doing my physical therapy exercises because I was like, well, nothing's helped, so like what's the point, like why bother? So, which I know like isn't a good mindset, but I was just like kind of feeling really hopeless, as I said. Ever since freshman year when I first got injured, like rowing was my whole entire life. Like everything I did was for rowing. Like I'd go to bed so that I could get up early, so that I could work out, so that I could be better at rowing, and I'd like eat healthy food so that I could be more fit, so that I could be better at rowing. Like everything was just like geared towards rowing, and like I just identified as Lucy, like the rower. Like I didn't like have anything else to myself, I felt like. So like I literally went to school to row. Like I didn't care about my major. Came into BU undecided. Like I still don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah, I like would see doctors periodically through athletic training. None of them were very helpful, and then I finally saw one at Boston Medical Center. My mom came and my athletic trainer went, and he was just like, well, like you could either get a spinal fusion, which no one would do on you because you're so young, and that would be like a crime to do it on someone who's, was I 19? I don't know. No, I think I was 20, but like when this all started I was literally 18. So like, but they were like, yeah, it's like a crime to do it on someone so young, that like wouldn't be good, and then eventually like everything's gonna have to be fused. Like that's how I see it, because he was saying it would make it more likely that the discs on either side would become herniated, and the one, my L3, L4 is already like not doing too well as well. So yeah, because my 2 herniated discs are L4, L5, and L5S1. So yeah. And then my mom was there, and I literally like passed out because I don't know, he was like, you should never run again, you should never do this, you should never do that. He was like, if you sneeze it might make it worse, like it might just be predisposition to become like worse and like to herniate more. And he was like, anything could make it worse. He's like, you could bend over wrong, you could cough, you could do anything. And so I left there being like freaked out. I literally fainted in the room because he was like explaining that there was like a white dot next to my disc herniation. He was like, see, that's like, it's like a blood clot, blood vessel thing that's like trying to help your disc, because that's like what happens, I guess. And like that on top of everything else, I was just like freaking out during freshman year, and like even in high school I would work out all the time. So this like sudden change to like a sedentary lifestyle. Like sedentary meaning like I was literally bedridden for like 6 months twice, so miserable, and like without the endorphins, and like just like being cooped up in bed, like feeling hopeless, feeling like there's no options. Like I don't know, it like really took a toll on my mental health. And yeah, just like my identity being so attached to rowing definitely didn't help. Yeah, so that was just like a really rough time. And so I definitely have dealt with depression. I like am still dealing with it. Like being back in Boston is like kind of rough for me because there's like a lot of like triggers, I guess, subconsciously, because I felt fine when I first got back, but then like I slowly realized like I was sleeping all day. I was sleeping until like 5 p.m. Like I wasn't getting out of bed. I wasn't doing things. Like I was just like kind of, yeah, falling back into depression, which was really rough to recognize because I was doing so much better in Paris. And yeah, to go into Paris and like this past summer, the summer between my sophomore and junior years, I really just like went home and like tried to focus on my mental health, my physical health, and I got like another injection which didn't help, and like I don't know, and I didn't like do any more exercises from back. I went to another physical therapist for like 2 days, and then I was like, this is stupid, like it's not gonna help me, nothing's been helping. So I gave up on that. I was like, this is a waste of time. But last spring when I got the MRI results back, I was like, I'm done. Like I'm gonna apply to go to Paris, because if I don't get out of here, I'm going to lose my mind. Like I was literally just in bed in like Stuvie 2, which I still get like PTSD whenever I walk in there. Like going in those elevators, like I like get like triggered, like I don't know, because I just spent my whole entire last semester at BU. This past semester, this last fall, I was in Paris, and last spring I was literally just inside of Stuvie 2 for the whole entire semester because like my back prevented me from like leaving. Like that's really what it was. In addition to being like depressed, like I just didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I didn't want to like put this on anyone, and I didn't even realize like how I was feeling or anything. And then I just like kind of called my mom one day and I was like, I just feel like I don't care about anything, like, and I just genuinely don't care about anything. Like I have no motivation to do anything. I don't care if I get out of bed. I don't care if I see anyone. I don't care if I do anything. Like I really just don't care. Like I was just like existing. Like I don't know, it was a kind of scary feeling. But yeah, and I finally like opened up and told my mom that, which was like super hard because I knew my parents were already worrying about me and like my back. And on top of this, they're paying so much money for me to like go to BU, and I just wasn't going to class. Like still, like this past semester, like the same thing happened again. Like I started becoming more depressed just being back here, and like just, yeah, seeing like the Charles River. All my friends are still on the rowing team or used to be rowers. Like I don't know, it just like hits really close to home, and I didn't think it would like drag me back to the dark place, but it like kind of did. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been dealing with this semester, like trying to get past it. And yeah, last summer I really tried to focus on like getting better, which I did. I was in a good place when I went to Paris, which was amazing. Paris was the best thing that's ever happened to me because I just needed like the physical like change of scenery and like just like new people, new environment. No one knows about rowing, no one cares, like no one knows about like Skinny Lucy, like when I was 130 pounds. Like it just like was a fresh start, and it was incredible. And I was in like such a better like headspace like the whole entire time, and I was really confident that coming back to BU would be okay. Like I kind of knew that being back here would, like, no matter what point in my life, I just feel like I'm always gonna be like kind of weighed down when I'm here. So yeah, that was like a really tough decision to come back because I like knew I only have like a year until I get my degree, so I can't just like leave now. But it's been like rough, and I was taking 5 classes at the beginning of the semester. I like dropped 2 classes, and like one of the classes is like a 2 credit course, so I'm literally taking like 10 credits, like probably a part-time student, but like it's just like what I needed to do for myself. And I like felt really guilty thinking about doing that and everything, but I just knew that I couldn't keep going as I was and like pretending everything was fine, because my back is still like really hurting a lot, and like my mental health like really deteriorated like the second I got here. But yeah, so I guess that's where I am now. I dropped 2 of my classes, might not graduate on time, but like honestly I don't really care because I just like need to make sure I'm okay, like mentally and physically. And so basically I'm just saying, like, do what you need to do. Like if you're in a rough place, like don't even care if people are gonna judge you. Like I felt really bad. I told my mom about it finally. I was like, I just know I need to drop these courses. Like I'm gonna get a W on my transcript. I'm dropping 2 classes. Like I know it's not good, but I just know I can't, like, even if I tried to finish them out, I'd fail them. And like, but I don't want to even try. Like I can't like commit that much time to it because I need to focus on myself. And I talked to my advisor about it, and like everyone was super supportive. You just think in your head that like the worst thing's gonna happen, and like definitely prepare yourself for that. Prepare for people like not to understand where you're coming from, but just like know that you're making the right decision, and don't let them like sway you if you know what you need to do, you know? Now I'm just kind of like trying to like get my grounding again, like trying to like figure everything out. I was 100% gonna get this surgery, high level, double level disc replacement, because I got a discogram in my back over spring break, which was the most painful thing in my whole entire life. Like actually terrible, like the worst thing ever. I couldn't move my left leg after because like the left side of me is the one that hurts the most. I was laying on a table like on my stomach during the procedure, and they were like, okay, just like drop your legs off the table and then like just like kind of like fall back into the wheelchair. I couldn't even move my leg off the table. Like I was trying to kick it with my right leg and it wouldn't even move. And then the like nurse had to like drag my legs off the table. There was like tears down my face. I was like, I always bite my tongue and like pinch my hands like while like that stuff is happening, but that like kind of didn't help. I had tears down my face and stuff, and like yeah, it was really terrible. But yeah, so the doctor got the results from that and was like, okay, we should do like a double level disc replacement. And it's like scary because they go in through your stomach and they like have to take out all of your organs and stuff, and then like literally take out your discs, which are like the discs of like cartilage in between your like spine. So that's really scary. And then they put metal in instead, and it's really freaky, I'd say, because it's like a more recent type of way to deal with this. It's like you just have like artificial discs in your back for like the rest of your life. And I was talking to my dad because we were getting second opinions and stuff, and they were just like not sure how long they'll last. And for most of the people that they do these on, they're like 40, 50, 60, or at least older than 20, like so they don't have to last that long. But if I got them right now, like ideally they would like have to last like 60 years, you know? So that's just kind of terrifying because I wouldn't want to get another surgery. And that's the other thing, like I don't want to not get the disc replacement surgery and like try more conservative things, which I've already tried like pretty much everything that I know of. Yeah, so I don't want to just like waste time trying random things and then not work out, and then I just end up getting disc replacement anyways, because I just am so sick of feeling like this. I'm so sick of not being able to do things. I don't know, I just don't want it to hold me back anymore. So I was like kind of wrapping my head around the double level disc replacement, even though I'll have like a gross scar on my stomach and it's like really invasive and kind of terrifying. But now my dad's like talked to other people and they're like thinking we should see like a neurosurgeon or something beforehand, just to like make sure we're doing the right thing, which sounds like a good idea. But I'm just kind of sick and tired of this whole situation. Super frustrating. And as I said in previous videos, I was supposed to go to Machu Picchu this August, but if I get back surgery, I'm gonna have to like recoup from that and like just kind of do nothing all summer, which is really frustrating. And I have to take chemistry next fall, and I was planning on trying to go abroad next fall, but with surgery and everything I should just like stay here in the fall, which is going to be tough. As I said, like I'm usually not as good here, but I'm thinking if I get surgery and can somehow be active or at least feel good enough to go to class and like do things next fall, I feel like that'll be a good step for me and it won't be as rough. So yeah, I just hope we figure something out this summer. And either way, I think I need to get surgery of some type. I don't know what it's gonna be, because I just know something needs to happen. Like I'm not gonna go home and not change anything, because I just can't continue like this, kind of like just hoping things will get better and then they don't. And that's where I'm at right now. My dad just called me yesterday and was like having second thoughts about the disc replacement, but before yesterday I was like 100% gonna do it, because like even though obviously I don't want surgery, and like no one should ever get surgery unless it's like the last option, I guess. At this point, if anything helps, like that's what I will go for. And let's see, because I know I posted a picture on Instagram, follow me on Instagram if you want, but saying that I was gonna be talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know, I definitely didn't talk that much about like mental health because I just wanted to like glaze over, update you on everything. But if you want more on like, I don't know, dealing with depression and like, I don't know, how to manage it like with friends and family, and also I guess to just touch on the body image issue. Just with social media these days, it's like really messed up. Pretty much everyone is unhappy with their body, which is like really unfortunate and like not how we should be living and thinking of ourselves, which I still am trying to like learn and figure out. But like just being on the lightweight rowing team, you're like trained to only be happy with yourself if you're 130 pounds or less. So like when I see myself, now that I can't work out, like now that I'm like injured, like sedentary, like literally just like whatever, like it's been like really hard. Like when I first got injured, I was like used to eating the same amount of food, so I just like gained a lot of weight, and like I don't usually lose muscle, so I just felt like really large, and like it's just like all about how you see yourself. It's like so messed up, but like when I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, like some days I'm just like, oh, I'm fat, good, like, or like, oh, like my legs are so big, or like stuff like that, which is like really unhealthy to like think about yourself. So I've been like really trying to like manage that, and I think it got a lot better when I was in Paris, because I was able to like separate myself from like kind of like all my friends here. Like even though they're like super nice and everything, they're all on the lightweight rowing team, so like I would just always compare myself to them. Like I'd be like, oh wow, it's like spring, so they're all really lean and like 130 pounds, and I'm like over here like all fat, and I bet they know I'm fat, and I bet they're judging me secretly. Like it was just like really messed up, but honestly you're the only one who thinks that of yourself. So I just know that like it's a mindset thing that I need to change, which I've been like working on. And yeah, I just like hate feeling that way about myself. Like I know it's a big issue I have, and I know it's an issue a lot of girls have, especially like, and just people in general, but it's like super unhealthy to think of yourself that way. Maybe I can film a video about like how I've been trying to get past that, because I think it's definitely gotten better. But yeah, so that's just to touch on the body image thing, and like so that would also make me feel worse about myself. My back would hurt, I'd feel really depressed, and I'd feel like really unhappy with how I was looking, or how I felt I looked. So I would literally, like, even if my back would allow me to get out of bed, like I bet because of like my depression, the way I felt about myself, I probably wouldn't have, because I would have been too like almost embarrassed to be like seen as out of shape as I was, which is so sick to think about. Like it's just like sickening. That's such a toxic mindset. That was like definitely my mindset last spring and the spring before that, so that's like really terrible. I hope that this like kind of helped. I wasn't planning on editing this at all, but now that I've filmed like probably 40 minutes, I think I'll just try to edit out some parts. If you guys want to hear more about back surgery and like what's going on with that, what the developments are as it's going along, like I'll definitely tell you guys. And if I do end up getting the surgery, I still plan on vlogging. I want to like share my experience with you guys. And if you want to hear more about like depression, how I've handled it, or like been trying to handle it, and what I found to be helpful, and how to like approach it with your friends and your family, definitely let me know, because I know I struggled a lot with that, because I just didn't tell anyone for the longest time until I was like at the lowest of lows, and I finally told my parents, because I was like, I just need to like somehow not feel like this, you know? And I didn't want to like be a burden on anyone, so I like put it off for as long as I could, like telling my family, telling my friends. Literally a bunch of my friends probably still don't know, and telling like Gretchen, and I just didn't want anyone to like worry about me or something. So yeah, which is like also messed up, because I don't know, people go through different things in their life, and like your friends are there to support you. So if they're good friends and they're worth your time, and you tell them you're struggling with something, they'll be there for you. So I don't know why I was so stressed about it, but I would definitely say if you're feeling any way, just tell anyone who cares about you, or even tell me and I'll try to help. And if you want to hear more about like body image issues and how to like have more positive mindset, let me know. I obviously haven't mastered it, because I still wake up and I feel like inadequate, or I feel like, oh, I'm fat Lucy, like I can't wait until I can work out and be skinny Lucy again. Like it's just so messed up, because at no point when I was rowing was I like actually healthy, because I was definitely just not eating enough, working out too much, and my body obviously retaliated as I ruptured a tendon in my ankle, my ribs shifted, my back is so messed up, like, and I also got headaches from like working out too much, not eating enough. But yeah, just I don't know, let me know if you want to hear more about body image issues, depression, like my surgery stuff. Yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see more of. Maybe this will help explain why I've been like, I don't know, unable to like fully commit to like, I don't know, posting videos every day, because I don't want to film me laying in bed, either because I'm like, my back's hurting really bad, or like feeling kind of depressed. Like that won't be fun for you guys. So yeah, like that's not an entertaining vlog, you know? So when I do stuff, I do try to vlog, but to be honest, a lot of days I'm just like trying to improve my physical health, and maybe my mental health is probably taking a toll on me some days too. So I'm just trying to like balance all of this, and I want to like help you guys if I can by like sharing my struggles with you, but I don't want this to like bring people down either. So just like know that like things can get better, and you just have to be like really honest with yourself, and honest with like the people you care about, and the people that care about you, like your parents and your family and your friends, and things will be good. Things will be better. That's all I have to say. Thanks for sticking through today's video. Use a real one if you made it all the way to this point. Also, look at all my pandas. Pierre, Peter, Pablo. Just so you know.